Hello, welcome to my presentation on human resource frame. Just begin quickly with what is the human resource frame. So the main thing I got from that is that it views the organization as a family, which means it's going to focus on the skills and attitudes of the individuals employed by the organization, and also focus on teamwork and communication within the organization. So, some of the goals would be to create a mutually beneficial relationship between the organization and its individual employees. This means that the planning and decision making are going to occur through a more democratic process, involving and promoting the participation of individuals. Also means that communication is not only going to include information, but it also wants to emphasize the needs and the feelings of those within the organization. The main thing I really liked about this frame of looking at an organization is that the leader is not the sole decision maker, or the leader is not the final decision maker. The leader is the servant and the catalyst to these decision making. And I think that that's a really crucial thing, especially when it comes to uh, education and school districts. So, what I've done here is I've basically taken all the key assumptions from the video we watched and I tried to summarize them in one succinct statement. So, what I got from the key assumptions is that the relationship between an organization and its individuals should be symbiotic in nature and mutually beneficial to both parties. So, one party should not benefit more than another, one party should not exploit another party, and it should be a relationship in which the individuals feel that they have the security and the creativity and the support to fully realize their talents, and then the organization will benefit from those talents and the energy of those individuals. So, under my leadership, what I've done with my pyramid here is I've ordered the following people groups in terms of who I believe in a school district needs the most support from their leadership. And so that was really what drove my organization of this. So at the top, I put students. And a lot of people did because I think we can all agree in the cliche that students are our future. And if we push them through a system that they feel has failed them or doesn't work, we're going to create a bunch of really jaded people who are not going to be willing to perhaps go out and fix the problems. They're just going to see that there are problems and feel that they have no control over them. If they have not grown up with a system that says you are valued, your voice and opinion are heard, then they will feel that that is how the rest of the world works too. And I mean, in certain situations, it happens. The next group are our teachers, and I might be biased because I am a teacher, but our teachers need so much support from the leadership, and all too often they don't get that support. Our own district has cut our PLC time more than half for next year, so we only will have 4 days out of the whole school year to meet together as a department and accomplish whatever work the school feels we need to do. So teachers need to feel like they have support from the district. They also need to have proper compensation. So teacher salaries, I think, should be higher. And I'll kind of get into that a little bit with the principals as well with administration. Um, but teacher salaries should be higher to bring incentive for good teachers to come into all school districts, not just high paying districts in the wealthy, privileged areas, but even in areas with high poverty rates. They need to go back to their budget. They need to pay their teachers more to bring in those good educators to give those kids a better chance of getting out of that poverty. We also need to protect good teachers by keeping out bad teachers. There needs to be a better, more thorough system of going through and evaluating teacher work and teacher progress, because what happens is when we have ineffective or poor teachers, our good teachers are the ones that pick up the slack. They are the ones that have to create lesson plans when a poor teacher is absent for a week and doesn't leave any plans. And it's not the administration that does it. It's the administration that comes to the teachers in the department and says, hey, make these lesson plans. And we've had a situation like that recently. And so it really is a burden on those good teachers who are trying to do their job to the best of their ability. On the next level, I put the principal and office staff. And I deliberately didn't put principal first because as a building leader, they are the servant to their staff and to their students first. And so that's why I put principal on the third level. Now, the principal does need support from the district because they are overseeing the day-to-day operations of their building. And so they need to have help from the district, from the school board, and from the superintendent. Office staff is also key because they oversee the organization of the school, all the little daily timetables and and attendance and dealing with parents. Office staff does a lot of that. And so they are crucial and we need them because they create organization for students. The principal and our assistant principals, they create an environment of discipline and not just in a harsh way, but in an organized boundary way. And so we need that too. We need to have a system of discipline and organization for students to feel safe and to feel protected in their school. Now, I wanted to comment on the salaries again. In terms of like teacher incentive and incentives for administration, I kind of feel that when schools look at budgets, that we need to incentive good teachers with higher pay. Under the same vein, I think we need to not encourage people. Oops, I apologize for that. We also need to not encourage people to just go for the administrative positions because of the higher pay. I find it very discouraging that in a school district where the superintendent is paid $400,000 a year and the teachers are paid less than a tenth of that salary. And I think that that does not encourage collaboration within a district because it could foster hostility for some people, but it also, what it does is it creates an incentive for people to just look for the cushy pay jobs. So a lot of people go into administration just because of the pay, not because of the passion. So we need passionate superintendents. We need passionate principals, not just people who are motivated by a higher paycheck. So that's my little soapbox, and I'll get off of that. On the next level, I put paraeducators and parents because I believe that they both play a similar role in that they are aids to student education. So they're not the primary people responsible for a student's education. The primary person is the student, him or herself. You can have the most fabulous paras, the most fabulous parents, the most fabulous teachers, but if the student is not motivated, then they're not getting anything out of their education. But then next is the teachers. They see them every day, day in, day out. They're responsible for making sure the proper skills are taught and communicated. But then we get down to paras. A school needs to make sure that they properly support their paraeducators. A lot of times they kind of get cast aside and they're seen as some of the least important, but they really do play a crucial role, especially with children who have special needs or IEPs, and they need that help. I've had paras who are fabulous. They know what they're doing. They know how to support the child and build that relationship. I've also had paras who sat in the back of my classroom and didn't have any interactions with the students. And so we need to have, similar to the teacher vetting process, we need to have a way to vet out the bad paras from the good paras. We need to have supervision of it. We need to listen to the students. Do they say, are they getting the help they need from their paras? Parents also need to be encouraged by leadership to play a role in their students' education. So we only get their kids for half a day, then they go home to their parents. And what their parents believe about education is really key in how the students view their education. If a parent doesn't believe it's important, then a student might not believe it's important. So we need to support parents, show them that even if they feel that they're not able to tutor their kids or help their kids out with their homework, guess what? The school has tutoring in place. The school has resources available for parents to help their kids learn. And maybe they can even learn in the process. The next level, I put the cooks, custodians, and maintenance because although they don't have as much interaction with students as like a teacher, for example, who can double as a coach and so see students a lot, they still are very crucial to creating an environment that's conducive to learning. So if students are hungry, if they're sick, if they're hurt, they're not able to concentrate in class. If they're sick or hurt, they're not even in class. So we need to make sure that we have a good support team in for custodians. I know we had a shortage of custodians, and for about a week we didn't have any soap or paper towels in the student bathrooms. And you better believe the next week we had a lot of students absent due to illness. And so when they're already struggling to get there, that just makes it harder. So let's not put up more barriers between students and their education. Finally, I put community and alumni as my last rung on there. Not because they're the least important, but because they have the least face-to-face interaction with the students, and because they're outside of the physical building of the school. Yes, we need our communities. We need that interaction with them. I know that we rely on community donations for our students who live in high poverty. Yes, we need our alumni. I love having alumni come in and show students what they can achieve outside of high school, what is possible for someone from their area to become. But in terms of our leadership support, time, and effort, it needs the students, teachers, and the rung down from the pyramid, they need to take priority over the community alumni, in my opinion. So that is my presentation, and I